Penguin Random House Audio presents The Shores of Tripoli, Lieutenant Putnam and the Barbary Pirates, by James L. Haley. Read for you by Paul Boehmer. All nations that have not acknowledged the prophet are sinners, whom it is the right and duty of the faithful to plunder and enslave, and every Moslem who is slain in this warfare is sure to go to paradise. Sidi Haji Abdul Rahman Adja, Tripolitan Ambassador. Perhaps no service, either in the way of ships or officers, ever had so large a proportion of that which was excellent in it, as the Navy of the United States, the day peace was signed with Tripoli. James Fenimore Cooper, The History of the Navy of the United States of America. Chapter 1. The Morning Watch. June 6, 1801. Before he went to sea, Bliven Putnam had wondered why men personify ships, name them, ascribe temperaments to them, refer to them in the feminine. It took only one day at sea in a stiff blow to understand it. When the sails of the Enterprise bellied out, and the masts bent before the wind, when the ship buried herself in a trough, and then vaulted to surmount a swell, she took on the life of the most spirited filly. A ship at sea. You ask things of her, sometimes difficult things, tricky things, and she responds, although not always in the affirmative. She becomes your home and your safety, your only safety, in the middle of an ocean, and she not only crosses that ocean, but does so with a grace and touch that is nothing if not feminine. To seamen, this relationship with their vessel becomes embedded in their nature. Those who do not go to sea cannot understand it. They accept it readily enough, and they mimic the sailor's reference to a ship as she. But they do not comprehend it, really. That is the seaman's bond alone. And who can understand an ocean who has not crossed one? A body of water so vast that months peel from a calendar as one dares to traverse it, so mysterious that antediluvian creatures yet to be discovered swim in it, a sea so primal and so powerful that when it rises up in its fury, the tallest and proudest ship is at its mercy. No wonder, he thought, that ancient peoples worshipped sea gods. Probationary midshipman Bliven Putnam was 14 by the calendar, but he appeared and acted years older. The wind was following, lifting the curly, sandy-brown hair on the back of his head, his 3-inch standing collar keeping the morning chill off his neck. He was already as tall as many men, and as broad in the chest, with a square set to his jaw, his blue-gray eyes conveying determination and quick intelligence. He stood his trick at the wheel, his fourth, as he would note with pride in the diary he was required to keep and lay open for Lieutenant Porter, who oversaw his and the other midshipmen's schooling. This was the first watch that Bliven had stood alone. The morning watch, the coldest and darkest, with the sparest number of men to watch over the vessel while most of the crew slept. It frightened him badly at first, the responsibility, not having an officer observing him, but in the peace of the wee hours he came to appreciate how little attention a vessel in a good wind requires. He stood with his feet just wider apart than his shoulders, as Lieutenant Porter had shown him, and was aware that he was learning to trust his ship. She was easy to guide, but if he had to force
Sample complete. Ready to continue?